Oh, good. Now to see if I can. Huh. Am I actually right, though? Oh, wow. All kinds of lag. Hey, JT. How's it going? Well, that's something at least. One good thing about the situation that I find myself in is I don't have to work. So not much has really changed that much for me. And my wife works in an essential business, so not much has changed for her either. The one who's seen the most change is, in fact, my mom. Yeah, my dad wants me to contribute between a third and a quarter of the cost for the carport that we're going to be putting up this year, and I will happily do so when I have the funding to. On the bright side, I'm going back to Lionbridge probably next week, so my blacksmithing is going to be curtailed again, and for a longer span of time, because the one I've got is driving me crazy, as you already know. It's like I came out here yesterday and I could not get a good heat to save my life. So how are things going on your end? Really need to do this a little more often. Oh, and JT, one of the things that I'd like for you to do when you get a moment is check out the video I put in the description. Because for one thing, I think it might help put blacksmithing YouTube channels on the map. Because there are so few of us that have enough subscribers to be monetized. It might be nice to try and reach a wider audience. It's like I know Hans is struggling to get to that point. I am too, but I'm not expecting to get there for quite some time anyway, so I'm not that worried about it for me. But I know Hans could really benefit from it, and so could a few others. I have not been keeping up on it like I would like. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm hoping to be out here as close to all day as I can on Tuesday. The upshot is it's supposed to be a really good day. Temperatures between mid 60s and the mid to high 60s, and like a really low chance of rain. Today was only supposed to be mostly cloudy, but clouds that I see are not looking too friendly. Can you hear me okay? Not getting any weird echoes or anything? fun. Oh, good. I know last time I did this, there was a bit of an echo, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Anyway, today there's two main things that I want to accomplish. I've got a flap Dramamine warning. I've got a flap right there that's that's not really acting as an airflow regulator like it used to, thankfully, but it is basically my ash dump, at least as close to it as I can get. That's what I get for moving the tripod. So I do want to make something of a hook out of what I cut off the other day. Punch a hole and bend so I can connect this to the ash dump flap with a bolt. And that's going to be too short. Well, I could draw this out. Not a big deal. Thin it out a little bit. And I also want to make an S-hook so that when I go to the food bank, I can have something to hang my bag of bags off of the cart when they do decide to switch back to the shopping method rather than the food box method. Oh, good. So I'm not sure just how long I'm gonna be able to stream today, because the forecast was not what I am seeing right now. I mean, at least it's warmer. Definitely warmer than it was yesterday. Holy crap. Drop forge. Drop forge, take a drink. Bone, what method are you asking about? Well, I thought about going with bellows, but that is, I'll admit, I'm a bit lazy. I mean, I could make a set of bellows without too much trouble, because I know there's a couple of designs, one used in Africa, that's basically a combination of a drum and the bag style. So you have two drums without the drum heads, loose leather across the top, pipes connecting the two, leading into your tweer, and you're just pumping like this, similar to the bag method, where you're going like this. But I don't know, I just prefer using electrical means, especially since I can't afford a blower at the moment. Hopefully that will change. Oh, yeah, the food bank that I go to, normally they have people go in and shop for their food. But with what's going on at the moment, that's too much of a risk, especially since a lot of the people who go there are at high risk to begin with. So they go with a food box method. So you go in, you go there, they have you pull into the alleyway, you show your ID, they write down the information they need, and then they give you a box full of food. Yeah, one of the downsides to the sleeping problems that I have is memory issues. I'd forgotten that I'd said anything about the food bank. Does that clear things up for you, Bowen? Two o'clock, time to feed the piggies that I did half an hour ago. Yeah, the food bank that I go to is run by the Idaho Food Bank, I think. I could very well be mistaken. Because unlike the other food banks in the state of Idaho, the Meridian Food Bank, which is the one I go to, allows you to get food twice a month rather than the standard once a month. which is really, really nice. I am, shall we say, in between employment. Quite literally, actually. The place that I'm getting hired on to does video game testing, which is what I was doing last summer. And they're hiring me again for a new contract that's supposed to be ongoing. So it should last longer than 2 months. Well, the way I see it is, while it may not pay enough, because it is only $9 an hour, it's better than a kick in the ass. Because that's $9 an hour more than what I'm making right now. And the nice thing is, while I'm working, I can actually afford food, so I don't have to go to the food bank. The downside is I can't, for lack of a better way of putting it, save up my trips, which it would be nice if I could, because that would give me 4 extra trips per year. Or it would have given me, I should say, it would have given me 4 extra trips during the last year, but it is what it is. We skate by. Tell you what, not a particular fan of this cigar. There's no flavor to it. Yeah, That's pretty much it. Like I said, better than a kick in the ass. Oh, that would be awesome, JT. Thank you. I mean, granted, at this particular moment, I'm not terribly worried about it because the content that I'm producing is still extremely beginner stuff, but still much appreciated. Let's see what it looks like right now. Oh, and yesterday I did an oops. That's not coming out anytime soon. Or, there we go. This came off the piece that I'm using right now for the S-hook. This is gonna reek when it gets melted down. At least it sounds better when I walk now. Because it makes that metal was making the same sound that blackheads make when they're in your shoe. Or not blackheads, goat heads. Blah. Not even close. Totally different things. Well, much appreciated, JT. I always forget about actually sending out notifications. Oh, and JT, I think you're gonna like this. If you can hear the whirring, I have a motor control. Oh, and before I forget, when I was asking about your forge liner, JT, I remember you using something that required dry ice to cure. And that's more what I was asking about. Because, like, how long does that liner last? Because mine have yet to last even one full use. So I always end up pulling it out, usually by mistake. Like, does clinker stick to it at all? Hey, Tommy. And to think, that started out as half-inch square. Okay. So, you've got your dirt, you've got your sodium silicate, then you've got the ash, and then you've got your fire. Is that what am I understanding that right? Well, yeah, that makes sense. Well, any acid and base combo. So what you end up with is salt, water, and CO2. One of the few things that I actually remember from chemistry class. You always get a salt, water, and CO2. But I rather like the idea of using dry ice because I've never played with that before. And that's what the other side looks like. So I've got a fair bit of drawing out to do in the middle, if I can get it hot. Tell you what, I am loving those German tongs. They are so much better than my other ones. Holy cats. Okay. Yeah, I haven't had much luck with slip. Because what ends up happening, let's see if I can. Yeah, this used to be my liner. And what ends up happening is the clinker sticks to it, and when I go to pull it out, I pulled the whole thing out. I mean, look at that. So I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. Because what I did differently this time compared to all my other times was here's my dirt, here's my substrate for my fire pot, or for my forge. Let that get to, I put it in when it was still somewhat liquid. Let it drain slash dry a little bit, not to the point where it was dry. It was still movable and formable. So like a stiff clay. And then I did the same thing with my liner, which was just ground up cat litter. And then from there, after I let that drain dry and get to a formable state, I baked it twice. So yeah, at this stage, I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. What is why the fireplace mortar doesn't hold up well? Like, is it a different substrate or what? Like, I'm at a loss. I literally do not know what else to do. That might be what I'm doing wrong. I blew the ash out before I fired it up. So the clinker is sticking to my fire pot when it should be sticking to ash. I get it. I see, said the blind man to the deaf mute as he picked up his hammer and saw. Yeah. So it provides something of an insulation, as it were. Yeah. Now I think I see what I'm doing wrong. Because, yeah, I did use the flour in the cake pan trick not too long ago for my wife's birthday. And it don't take much either. Plus, wouldn't the ash cause the clinker to congeal a little better anyway? It's like I think I'm developing the an airflow problem because I'm getting clinker going down into my grate. And I don't really have a reliable way of breaking it off. Okay, I might just go with the caulk. Yeah, it's gonna be a little while because it's gonna mean I'm gonna need a completely empty fire pot, blow out the ash that's in there, try it again with the cat litter, bake it again, only this time leave the ash in there. Because what I use to bake is just pallet wood. Put the pallet wood in there and get the fire going, put the lid on, and let it go. And you know, I tend to it, of course, but I let it go until there's nothing left. Yeah, I haven't been feeling anything glassy or gummy in quite a while. All the clinker I pulled out this time around has been either really hard or attached to my liner. On the bright side, the blender works really well for grinding up the cat litter. Let's go with that. Well, that's what I did yesterday. Well, actually this morning, when I decided to get my stream set up, was I pulled as much clinker out as I could, but there wasn't much in there. In fact, there was almost none, which surprised the hell out of me. Because I would have thought I would have pulled some of the big cakes like I had been before. And that's the thing. A lot of times when I suspect clinker, I can't find it. But I know it's there, you know? Really irritating. Because, like, I'm pretty sure I have a fair amount of clinker built up, but I couldn't find it just now. Well, yeah, there is that. Okay, I see what you mean by breaking up at 1,000 degrees. Okay. I get it. Okay, I'll admit, I'm not the swiftest on the uptake, but I do get it. Occasionally. Not a complete idiot, just a half-wit. Hey, Dana. Ooh. Ach, scheiße. Yeah, I need to catch his, so I'll probably be shutting down here pretty soon. I'm also not getting the heat that I should be. Just don't get me wrong, I like having, there are things about this anvil that I like, but from about here this way, not so much. Because to give you an idea, that's about as far as I can get with the horn for making that hook. And that's if I were to make this hook. But yeah, I think you can see why I'm frustrated with my forge. I get like two, maybe, I get 2 to 4 good heats and then nothing. Of course. Why wouldn't it be now when I find a clinker? What I'm using for fuel is bituminous coal. I got a whole barrel of it right there. Well, not so much now, but I'm down below that first rib. So thankfully, I can pull the fire apart, deal with the clinker, put it back together, and just add air, and it'll fire right back up. That's what I'm doing now. I probably shouldn't bother. Oh well. It is what it is. Yep. Bit coal. And the cool part is, it was a Craigslist find. That whole barrel. I could not have asked for a better birthday present. Well, I literally did ask for coal, but I was thinking, maybe a bag or two from my coal supplier. Not a whole freaking barrel. Hey, Jeff. So, for those who have just arrived, I put a link in the description for the stream for a video that may pertain to quite a few of us. It is a Jacksepticeye video, because I do watch Jacksepticeye, but I think what he's wanting to do is something of a charity stream for the crisis that's going on right now. Let's see if I can at least get one more good heat in. And he wants as many streamers as possible to get involved. A little bit blacktop scented. I wouldn't really say it's a strong sulfur smell. But then again, to be fair, my idea of what a strong sulfur smell would be might be a little skewed, since I have been to Yellowstone. But with especially the green coal, when it gets hot, I can see something bubbling on it. And I'm pretty sure that's bitumen. Plus, it behaves more like bit coal than the coal I had been using was. Because the coal that I had been using behaved more like anthracite. like once I remove the air, the fire would be completely dead within 15 minutes. Things like that. Plus, it was a much harder coal because with the coal that I've got now, I can break it apart with just my hands. I don't really need anything to break it up except for stuff that I want to break up smaller but don't have the leverage for. The original coal that I was using, yeah, that was definitely Stoker's coal. I know that because that's what they were using it for. Because I was getting it from a monument company that was using it for power. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get a good heat out of this. So I'm gonna shut it down. And the other thing I'm noticing is my ash isn't going anywhere. It's staying on the surface rather than gravity doing anything about it. So, no idea what's going on with that either. But I will see you all on Roy's stream, those of you who are going to be there, which is one of the reasons why I'm shutting down now. I'm just glad I got some good heats in that, I want my tongue clip, that I got some more drawing out done. Hopefully on Tuesday I'll be able to get more work done on it. I really need to fix that. Although not too bad considering it was my first ever set of tongue clips. Gets the job done. That's the important part. So yeah, thank you for stopping by. And I will see y'all over in Roy's stream. Do take a look at the video that's in the description. I would greatly appreciate it, because the more people we can get in on that, the better, I think. So, catch y'all later.